Hey Gigaversity followers, this is Bill Inman, and I do like articles that share examples of people out there being successful in the gig economy. We're going to take a look at one here that was first printed in Times Union recently, and it's about Missy Waghorn, who has a full-time job. She has been a school teacher for 23 years. She lives in Sarasota Springs, New York, and let's find out a little bit about what she did. So Waghorn says she spends between 8 and 10 hours a week on Arbonne, either hosting or attending parties to promote the wares, making calls, or hosting virtual parties online. Now, this is a product sales company. I'm very familiar with this. My first income outside of college was working in a direct sales company selling environmentally friendly products. I learned so much from that company about entrepreneurship and sales. And it seems like she's financially stable in her current job as a school teacher, but leverages her network, her drive, to make a little bit of extra money for her kids and for her family. Waghorn is part of what's called the gig economy, made up of women and men who either work several part-time jobs instead of one full-time job, or have a part-time job, a side hustle, in addition to a full-time job, and that's what she does, for example. Now, these side hustles are where you're creating customers. You know, the traditional gig economy, freelance jobs are one where you're paid for your hours, but this one is really about creating customers more so than getting paid for your hours, which is great as well. And in this job, or I should say in this article, it talks about thinking about the people you know. How many of them drive Uber or Lyft or sell Rodan and Fields products or another skincare line, or pick up retail or food service shifts during the holidays, or have their own business as photographers, interior designers, organizers, or tutors, all in addition to another job. There's a myriad of things you could do as opposed to just working your full-time job or along with your full-time job. There's 6 or 7 of them right there. The article continues to state that the Harvard Business Review reported in 2017 the hourly inflation-adjusted wages received by the typical worker have barely risen, growing only 0.2% per year since the 1970s. A lot of you watching this were born way after that. And this is one of the reasons that it's become important for people to find additional income in their spare time. And hopefully you can find something that you love doing as well. Maybe that helps you create a network of friends, customers, people you like being with. So, but it's almost necessary now, right? People have to work multiple streams of income just to be able to get by, because wages haven't increased relative to inflation for decades. Waghorn says Arbonne has given her something intangible that she values more than money. She is more confident now, and she has more friends. And I totally relate to this. I've worked multiple projects where I was either working it because I really loved it and I was passionate about it. Maybe it was even charitable in nature. I work one in sports, professional sports right now, that isn't necessarily money oriented. And then some of those projects also I've done over my lifetime have been to create a future opportunity. So in this particular one, again, she has been a school teacher for 23 years. And I'm sure that she appreciates and maybe even needs the extra money, but she really values that it's made her more confident. It's a side hustle. She has to go out, do things she wouldn't have to do as a school teacher. Do sales, for example. Maybe get out of her comfort zone. So she's more confident now and has more friends just from this side hustle. So now, according to Gallup, there's a Gallup poll. What Gallup said, what kind of gig worker you are indicates how fulfilled you are by it. Independent gig workers, such as online platform workers and independent contractors, experience high levels of work-life balance, flexibility, autonomy, meaningful feedback, creative freedom. In fact, they score much higher on all these factors compared with traditional workers and other types of gig workers. In contrast, so you just have the independent gig workers, the freelancers, the side hustlers. Then you have temporary workers or on-call workers. Contingent workers are sometimes called temps, hourlies. These workers report receiving less feedback on their performance, and only 1 in 5 says their performance metrics are within their control. In many aspects of their work, belongingness, passion, autonomy, creativity, feedback, performance metrics, and hours, these contingent workers are more similar to traditional workers than they are to independent gig workers. Now, that is one big difference between a side hustle and contingent labor, temp work. It's the fact that you're creating customers. And that's a really important aspect to remember if you want to create perpetual residual income, is you need to create customers to do that. So not only that, we're seeing here in this article that these contract workers are not as fulfilled as the freelance workers are as well. So that's a little bit of an exploration into the life of Missy Waghorn, who sells Arbonne products and works as a full-time school teacher. So you can take your pick. You could work full-time in a job and become a side hustler working to sell products. You could work as an Uber driver, a more traditional gig. There's many ways to enhance your income, but also increase the quality of your life in the gig economy. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.